Hello! Back
Hello.
again. Realised after the recording last time that all of my lovely UI was slightly out of shot. We're slowly getting the hang of this whole recording thing. We were off to try chapter 2. We weren't able to get that last memory. We might try for it again later on. But for now, we thought we'll move ahead and see what's going on in the future?
I suppose.
Past?
I don't know.
Continue to chapter 2.
The future of the past?
One of them.
I feel like I'm collecting bed sores. Note to self, jiggle around a bit more.
Put this up here too.
Anyway, something odd, really odd, happened today. Mum brought me breakfast with a scar on her face. Long and wiggly, like a snake or a Gothic symbol. And it looks healed. Like it's been there for, I don't know how long. What's up with that?
Well, she got a scar when she threw things in books or... That's like the tomes into the fire.
Yeah.
But the magicalness kind of exploded and she got burnt.
Yeah.
Did she think I wouldn't notice? But, you know, we did what we always did. I didn't say anything in case she got angry again. And she treated me like I was 5.
Cool. Now, the messages. So... Start searching. Do we look around the
Yes.
house? What do you think?
Do you want to look around the house first?
Yeah, let's check if Megan's downstairs to talk to. She
Here
is.
she is. Hello.
I'm not ready to let her go, Gale.
Oh, yeah.
You've been a dear friend for so long, but I need this. We need this. Give me another 30 days. I beg you.
Okay, so let's first search for the scar.
Yes.
There we go.
Oh, Primrose spoke.
Yeah, she did. Oh, this is probably the message that we're getting now.
Ah. Spoilers.
She mentioned it. I didn't even bring it up. She said the scar was from a wizard at the wizard's tower. An accident, and she didn't feel safe going back. From now on, she's staying at home. It's a big old bag of lies. It stinks. Not once did she look me in the eye. Well, she's such an awful liar. It crossed my mind that the scar was just an excuse to stop going to the tower. Did she know about Sloop? Was this all to stop us talking to each other through the books? Oh, Sloop, what am I going to do now?
So do you think that we need to use old search terms as well? Like if we search Sloop again?
Maybe. Yeah, because it's a new chapter now.
Yeah.
Sloop was the one who brought the news to us. Dad had run away from the wizard's tower. Something about plagiarism. He was due to go on trial that week, but he'd run from it. Dad was always a reader. Never one to come up with ideas himself. I guess he just stole ideas from one of his old tomes. So, he left us to fend for ourselves. Left me with Mum. Just as I became ill. The worst part was Sloop. Without Dad, there was no reason for Sloop to be at the house anymore. Why would Dad's apprentice visit when Dad wasn't there? Mum wouldn't let him in. My love. My Sloop. So, he got work at the wizard's tower and passed notes in the books that Mum sold to him. But even that's gone now. I know that Sloop won't give up on me. I know he will come for me.
Alrighty. What was the dad's name again?
Joss.
Oh, okay. Plagiarism, that was mentioned.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, a word.
Could look up Gale again.
Gale, yeah. Yeah. And Megan as well, we haven't searched for her.
Yes.
And Primrose.
Yeah. It's all the names.
She was so beautiful. It was breathtaking. I mean, she was scary too. She was about twice as big as me, even without me being hunched, and had 100 times the strength and 1,000,000 times the magic. I desperately wanted to meet her and get to know her. I felt it in my belly, right next to my sickness.
We should go talk to Gale as well.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh. Baba is now visible by Primrose's room.
Mm.
Go up and check on that.
There's a story in one of the books. It was the only one Mum liked to read to me. It's about a giant, Dubbo, who keeps a flock of sheep. He loves those sheep, force feeds them hay, throws them from hand to hand to make sure they wake up, taps them on the head with his club to make sure they go to sleep.
What a horrible giant.
Each day, one runs away. He can't understand why. He treats them so well. So, he eats that runaway sheep. In one go, pop! To send a message to the others.
I don't know if he treats them that well.
But they keep running away. And he keeps eating them. Pop, pop, pop. Eventually, only one remains. That sheep, Baba, puts up with the feeding, the throwing, the taps on the head, does nothing. And Dubbo sits down in front of that sheep. "What's wrong with you, little runt?" the giant asks. But Baba won't answer, and won't run away. "Why won't you run away?" said Dubbo. He didn't know it, but he wanted the sheep to run away. So he goes out, gets into a fight with another giant, and gets eaten himself. It's an odd story.
It is an
Yep.
odd story, Primrose.
Still, I like having Baba around the house as one of my friends. She visits and we chat. She's a real gossip, you know.
So, Primrose's friends, or the monsters, or whatever it was they were being referred to before.
I think we decided they were books. Oh,
They're-
there's a sheep.
Yeah, perhaps they're characters from the books.
Yeah.
Hello, Baba.
She's bad, Prim. A wolf in sheep's clothing. Jilly saw her. Tell her, Jilly. Jilly knows that Mum's pulling the wool over your eyes.
Okay, well, we got a bunch of names.
Yeah.
Then,
Did we want to go see if Gale's there to talk to first before we search anything else?
I'd like to continue on the path that we're on before we forget everything.
Okay, fair enough.
There's one.
Baba came hopping into my room. Always made me laugh. She doesn't walk, more bounces. But I could see from her expression that something wasn't right. She lost her footing and tumbled into my sideboard, knocking over a medicine bottle. She told me that Jilly had found something, and that I should come right away. Hannibus was the first of my friends to appear from the books. Scared the animal right out of me. One minute I was reading, the next there was a lizard man leaning over to get a better look at the book. I screamed, of course. Mum came in and told me it was a fever, that I was seeing things. Even I couldn't make up a 5-foot lizard reading books about himself. I wished Megan could see them. Baba, Thok, Jilly, Hannibus. Perhaps they would have made her happy, just as much as they made me.
Alright, there was a bunch of names.
Yes.
Hannibus.
We're your friends, Queen Primrose. Your army. Thok is your shield, and I am your lance. Jilly is your jester, and Baba your advisor. Should you need us, we're yours to command.
Keep looking
Gilly?
them all up.
Gilly? Oh, there we go. Ooh, a clown. Ugh.
Oh.
Creepily hiding behind the furnace-y fireplace thing.
Gilly Willikers had a series of books, but I only ever kept one. It was Gilly Willikers and the Time Key, the first one. I liked Gilly. He never treated my illness seriously. He'd walk around with wobbly arms and legs pretending to be me. I needed that. But Gilly had become serious. It was only after pushing him that I found out why. He knew something. And my other friends had to push him to tell me. He said that he had found a diary, my mum's diary, in her cloak and had opened it, hoping to find a new friend for me to play with.
And Sock.
I've never really had a problem with being bored. I read, I write, and there's always my friends. My friends were a gift from my dad. A little apology before the utter scumbag ran away. When I read a book, the character pops into existence, but no one else can see them. Some of them I don't care much for. I've learned to keep them locked in their books. But Thok and the others, I couldn't be without them.
Another one.
Thok was one of my favorites. He knew it, of course, and would wander around the house beating his chest, calling himself Primrose's champion. He was going to protect me from everything, and everything was a potential threat. A twitch in a curtain was a ghost. A slammed door was a demon. I tried to tell him that demons had better things to do than playing with doors, but he'd look at me slyly and say, "That's what they want us to think." I was so much happier having him around, and not just because of the threat of door demons.
Hello, Thok.
Thok knows something wrong. Thok has Thok's sense. A tickle in Thok's beard when something is wonky. Thok beard is extra tickly. Mum is a shade. Yep, like ones from my stories in Demonheim. Thok is sure of it. Gilly knows. Thok has never seen a clown live.
Thank you, Thok.
Have we actually spoken to Gilly yet?
We have not.
Prim, don't make me say. It's not a fun thing, not something that'll make you laugh, Primmy. Your mum has a diary. I thought it would be fun to see if there was a friend in the diary, someone to cheer you up.
But there wasn't a friend, Primmy. Not a friend at all.
What was there in the diary? Let's search for diary.
Yes.
Aha.
I took a dose of strength potion and, completely inelegantly, made my way to Mum's bedside table, just as Gilly had told me. I couldn't quite understand what I was reading. On each day of the diary, there were multiple entries, written in tiny text and boxed off from each other. I looked for yesterday's date. Again, there were multiple entries for one day. One was familiar. It talked about the pie she had made and noted that she thought I looked healthier, having eaten it. But I didn't recognize the other entries for yesterday. They were events I didn't recognize, an argument we never had, a visit to the wizard's tower, a burning of the pie. Then I looked at tomorrow's entry, the 30th. The book was completely blank after that date. and every entry on the 30th, of which there were many, was the same. The return. The return. The return. The return. The return.
How many times has Megan gone back in time to fix things?
The return. Aha. Ooh. Gale has been added to the world. So Gale wasn't even there. Perfect.
Good thing we didn't look.
It was the 30th. The day of the return. Whatever in all Gillinor that was. I resolved to follow Mum on her nightly trip out of the house. Hannibus gave me his lance, Thok his shield. I knew they would both disappear as soon as I left the house, but I thanked them anyway.
I don't think we ever searched Hannibus, did we?
No.
We should afterward, just in case. He's already there, but who knows?
The door closed as my mum left. I pulled a dark cloak over my shoulders, took a swig for strength, and then stepped out into the darkness. Mum had a small firebrand, which made her easy to follow, but I had no such luxury. I was locked to darkness. Every sound I made, I feared she would turn around. But she only had eyes for the hilltop. We passed something like a grave, but I had no time to dilly-dally. Mum was many steps ahead of me. I could feel the strength in me already sapping. Mum reached the top, and I hid behind a berry bush on the edge of the clearing. A tall, blue woman called Gale was waiting for my mother. They talked, and I could only make out fragments. And then Gale danced, without music.
Had we searched for Gale yet?
Yes.
Okay. Hannibus. Nope, but a word.
Just a new word.
She mentioned a grave.
Yes.
I hope it's not hers.
Well, she did die at one point to the sea troll.
As I rolled
She
down
did.
the hill, desperate to get away, I came to rest where the grave was earlier.
Get away? Get away from what? From Gale?
Did I think we're missing a bit in the
I
middle?
feel like there's a little gap there, yeah.
But it had gone. There was nothing here. Impossible. I clawed at the soil, thought better of myself, and then stumbled back towards the house. I remembered Gale's look. The one she gave me on the hilltop. It felt like she knew me.
Okay.
Did we want to go search for Gale yet?
Yeah, let's go talk with Gale. Oh, first, we never searched for Primrose, did we?
Oh, yeah.
Nope. Did I spell it right? Yes. So, first chapter was all about Megan.
Yeah.
Second chapter seems to be all about Primrose. I reckon the third chapter is going to be all about Gale.
Ah, yes.
Hello, Gale. Ooh, needle. We haven't searched for the needle. Oh.
Aww.
Hello there, Gale.
The end is the beginning, Megan. I will give you another return, but you have to prepare yourself. The Anima, she won't let you do this forever. Events will conspire, and you will not be able to follow this path continuously. You may not see it in Primrose, but I see your daughter. She is doubt, and doubt blossoms faster than any disease. Time can do nothing to halt that.
Doubt, time, there's something else in there, but I think they are things we should search for.
Yes.
A word. Aha! Ooh, a diary has appeared underneath Primrose's bed.
I returned to the house, flinging the cloak under my bed. My legs trembled with the night's effort. My friends asked where I had been, as if they didn't know. Thok, Hannibus, Barbar, Gilly. They all talked as if nothing had happened. Then Mum walked in, her silhouette filling and darkening the room. My friends retreated to their books, as if Mum could see them. Mum leaned over me, kissed my cheek and whispered, "Happy birthday, little Primrose," before turning to leave. I reached below my bed for my cloak and searched in the pockets for the diary. I flicked to my birthday, and there it was.
Birthday. Ooh, look at that.
Woohoo. We can start the next chapter
On the day
already.
before my birthday, there was only one entry. But on the day of my birthday, there were multiple. I read each entry on my birthday. There were several in tiny handwriting. She looks so much healthier. Every time I travel back, I forget how much healthier she looks. How can I give up seeing her this well? Traveling back? What have you done, Mum?
We should check out the diary under her bed.
Absolutely.
Says whenever you get the last entry, you open the portal to the next chapter.
Yeah, looks like. Still a lot of gaps though, and I'd like to search out as much as we can before we admit defeat and move on.
Same.
Where? Aha. A diary.
On the day before my birthday, there was only one entry. But on the day of my birthday, there were
She's
multiple.
just saying this again.
I read each entry on my birthday. There were several in tiny handwriting. She looks so much healthier. Every time I travel back,
this
I
exactly the
forget
same?
how much healthier she looks.
Yeah.
How can I traveling back?
Right, yeah. Okay. Traveling?
Or just travel.
No. Do we search? Diary?
Yeah.
Time?
We did that one.
I feel like we've hit a dead end a lot sooner than we did.
I know.
Than we did last time.
What haven't we looked up?
Potion.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Hold up.
Doing anything for more than a few minutes is the ultimate pain in the backside. My lungs burn. My knees go to jelly. I just fall over and want to go to sleep. Mum used to get medicines. It took all of our money to do it, but I wasn't going to convince her to stop. Megan's the only one who changes Megan's mind. The medicines would let me leave the bed, for a few days at least. And it would bring a smile to my mum, which was, something. Then I'd be back to bed, like a brick fell on me. I had the idea of stealing some of the medicine for myself, when Mum wasn't there. But she rationed it so carefully. And we can't afford it now anyway. Not now Mum's given up the job at the Wizard's Tower. Huh. I wonder if I could make a simple strength potion. Just your average homemade strength potion. Would that work?
Ooh. Okay, so a little adventure into herbalism, herblore, yeah. And the Wizard's Tower. We've not looked into anything like that.
And we haven't looked up anything about, illness or anything.
No.
Some medicines on the shelf have appeared in
Ration?
one of the bedrooms upstairs.
Oh, yes, so they have. Explore medicine shelf.
Sipping the potion, I could follow her. It wouldn't keep me going for long, but I could tail her as long as she didn't go far. I felt genuinely excited. I was an adventurer.
Was that a section, do you think? No. Adventurer. Talking about Thok, Primrose's champion.
Demon.
Demon. Oops. If I can spell it right. Ooh! Haha, well done.
There was one story I never read. It was about a demon, a hateful thing. This demon would thrive on the misery of others, but not by consuming that evil or anything like that. She was miserable herself, and she would bring others into her own misery so that she could share it. She would bask in that shared misery. But to know her was to defeat her. To say her name was to stab her through the heart. Her name was Meetum. I made the mistake of reading the book once, bringing her to life. But I said her name aloud, and she was gone.
Well, there's a name.
Yes.
Meetum. Ooh. The needle glows, recognizing the name, but now is not the time to utter it.
Huh.
What? I guess that's something to search for in another timeline.
Maybe.
Perhaps the last one. Maybe she has something to do with things. Did that unlock another spot?
Yeah,
the demon's name.
Demon's name.
Yeah. Ooh, okay.
When you meet him, unlocks that.
Wow. Alright.
There was something before I thought about, but I can't remember what it was. It was it was either Thok or Julie that said that Mum was a shade.
A shade.
Shade.
Yes. Nice.
Hannibus was the first to call her the Shade, the name that my friends use, even though I tell them not to. She would leave most evenings, up to the hilltop, and Hannibus would watch for as long as he could, before he reached the limit of his magic. Always, she would be in the same cloak. Always, she would head up the hill. The cloak would make her look like a shade, and each day, she would grow more hunched.
Okay. Cloak. That's been mentioned a few times. Word. So what's this moment? A big old bag of lies. Oh. Haha.
I began writing down the lies that Mum was telling me. Every day, there was a new one. 1. The scar had come from an accident at the Wizard's Tower. 2. That she would invite Sloop to the house when she next saw him. 3. That we had plenty of money. 4. That there was no need for medicine anymore. My friends believe that she's not Mum anymore. They call her the Shade.
There's one to go.
Okay. Money was mentioned?
Yes.
No. What were the other things? Tall blue woman called Gale was waiting by my mother. They talked. I could only make out fragments. And then Gale danced without music. Fragments.
About dance.
Dance.
Ooh.
Ooh, we did it! The last one!
She was mesmerizing. Gale glowed as she danced, and a thread span from her, flicking high into the air before resting in place, as if she was drawing the constellations. Then, thread upon thread layered onto each other, until a woven dome formed over the top of them, and me. As she danced around, I thought she caught my eye. I hid my own eyes and skulked further behind the berry bush. But she danced on. Lights flashed, centering on the needle, and then all was calm. Mum walked towards Gale, who looked exhausted, and laid a hand on her head. Gale said something to my mum, something about doubt. About me doubting her, perhaps. Gale flashed me a look. Whatever happened was coming to an end, and there was no time to linger. I shuffled away from the hilltop and caught a foot on a root, stumbling down to where the grave was before.
We did it!
We did it!
Alright, well let's finish up this section here, and next time we can come back and finish off chapter 3.
Yeah.
Goodbye, all my friends hiding in the corner. Creepy Clown, Thok, and Cannabis, and
Corner friends.
and the sheep outside. So yeah, cool. It's good. I'm excited. See
Yeah.
what comes next. So, see you later. We'll be back soon.
Bye.
Bye.